same old song. But I ain't scared, I've been there twice. Paid my dues and rolled them dice.
Thunder's laughing, angels grin. We all get washed, but none stay clean.
When the world stops turning, I'll still sing. Ashes on my boots,
Fire on my string.
if heaven don't want me,
Hell can't wait.
'cause I'll dance in the dark with the hands of fate. You can take my name, but not my sound. I was born from the flood and I won't drown.
When the world stops turning,
I'll still sing. When the world stops turning,
I'll still sing.
no, no, no. Yeah. Listen. I don't get why I was hyped on you. Gave you the passcode, gave you my point of view. I put you first, yeah. I put it on my life. But you coming deep, twisted up the night. Now we're spiraling, crashing down the drain. You play the victim, but you cause the pain. I gotta speak my truth, get it out my brain, Lord. So screw the text, they don't mean shit now. Tragic gifts, yeah, throw them out. Erase the pictures, faded all to black. You're toxic girl and I ain't coming back. Screw the text, it don't mean shit now. Tragic gifts, yeah, throw them out. Erase the pictures, faded all to black. You're toxic girl and I ain't coming back, yeah. You thought you were asleep, hiding the ends, moving way too quick. I got the receipts, yeah. I heard a story. You played yourself, now you lost the glory. You mess with him, yeah. That's a low blow. That's a low blow.
You just played yourself, playing yourself. Low blows, playing yourself. Blowing your opportunities. You know, it's people, hindsight's 2020. You know, it's, how about we just treat everyone with respect? How about we just wish the best for everyone? That way we don't have to worry about mistreating the wrong people. You know, if we just gave everyone respect, if we just treated everyone right until they gave us reason not to, then we'd be a lot better off. But hindsight's 2020.
If the love was real, ask the whole damn city how I used to feel. I called you my queen, put you on the throne. Now the castle's burning, man, I'm better off alone. It stings like hell, I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't gonna let you see me cry. Fail, oh, fail. Screw the text, they don't mean shit now. Trash the gifts, yeah, throw them out. Erase the pictures, faded all to black. You toxic girl and I ain't coming back. Screw the text, it don't mean shit now. Trash the gifts, yeah, throw them out. Erase the pictures, faded all to black. You toxic girl and I ain't coming back. I ain't coming back. No more games. You don't gotta like me, just don't cross that line. We ain't built the same, but that suits me fine. I ain't out to change you, ain't here to preach, but don't spit on my boots while I'm trying to speak. Yeah, I bled for folks I barely knew, but I'll burn it all if I got to. I give respect when it's giving back, but if you pull a knife, I won't hold back. We can be friends or we can be enemies. You choose the road, just don't lie to me. We ain't gotta see the same sky or pray the same way, but there's rules you don't break and prices you pay. You don't want me as an enemy. I'm 10 times more valuable as family. Stand with me or stand across. That choice is yours. And I'll bear.
To the ancestors, known and unknown, Ashe. To the gods, known and unknown, Ashe. All the praise, all the glory be to the Most High. What's going on, guys? It's your favorite Cosmic Warrior, back at you with another Galactic transmission. Let's get a prayer in, then we're going to tap into the energy. Spirit, thank you for coming through. Thank you for guiding, protecting this message. Thank you for removing any negative energy from the area. Thank you for allowing this to get to any and everyone it's intended to. And so it is.
Just don't lie to me. We ain't gotta see the same sky or pray the same way, but there's rules you don't break and prices you pay. You don't want me as an enemy. I'm 10 times more valuable as family. Stand with me or stand across. That choice is yours and I'll bear the cause. There's room at my table for the broken and bruised, but don't mistake mercy for being confused. You walk in peace, I guard your back. You walk with hate, I don't cut no slack. We can be friends or we can be enemies, but either way, you're gonna remember me. We don't have to bow to the same old king, but if you raise your voice, you best mean the thing. You don't want me as an enemy. I'm 10 times more loyal when you ride with me. Stand with me, or stand across. The road you take might be what it costs. I don't ask much, just the truth and respect. Give me that and I'll give you my best. But if you choose the fire, I'll bring the flame. Just don't say later I never gave you a name.
If you want to bring the fight, I'll bring the flame. What does it say? Just something about your name. Your name. The weight that our names hold. You know, it's appearances. You know, our 3D eyes, appearances. You know, deceiving. Who we are. You know, who are we? A lot of us don't know. But let me tell you. You know, well, we are an embodiment of our ancestors down here in the physical. And our ancestors are an embodiment of us in the spirit realm. We handle what needs to be handled down here in the physical realm in the 3D, right? And our ancestors, our spirit team, the Most High, takes care of it in the other realms, where obviously we aren't. Well, but we are. You know, it's the work that we do in the 3D that reflects in the 5D. Well, technically, it's the work we do in the 5D that reflects here. But it's the internal work. You know, below the surface. Below the surface. You know, what's hiding below the surface? You know what it's given? It's given, undercover boss. It's given, it's given, the billionaire dressed up as a homeless man. It's given appearances. What's funny too is, oh no, if we had known, we would have treated you better. It's why don't you just treat people better to begin with? I don't know, just a thought. You shouldn't have to know who someone is to be a decent fucking person. But even more than that is to go out of your way. Going out of your way. Slandering someone. Which is what? Black magic. It's black magic. Verbal venom, casting spells. You know, but then it's you know what that's given? It's given, bam, here's the consequences of my actions. Here's all the negative words that I was speaking coming back, and whoa, what is all this shit in me? What the fuck is that? I don't like that. Can we just stop? And so, well, can you shut your fucking mouth? Have you tried that? Just a thought. Have you tried shutting your fucking mouth? You know, if you have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Right? We were all taught that as a kid, right? Did we forget those lessons? Did we forget them all? How soon did we forget them? Really quick? While we were still kids, we already forgot that lesson? Oh, we probably did, right? You know, the power of life and death is in the power of our tongue. How do we use it? How do we wield our sword? Do we slice others down? Do we slice ourselves down? Or do we bring ourselves up? Do we bring others up? Our choices, our decisions, our actions, our reactions. The consequences of our own decisions. I'm exactly where I am right now because of my choices, my actions, my decisions. You're exactly where you are right now because of your choices, your actions, your decisions. If you're not happy with it, look in the mirror before pointing the finger at someone else. You know, we all know that, right? We take out the plank in our own eye before we worry about the speck in other people's. A lot of times we're worried about the speck in yours, the speck in yours, the speck in yours. But how do you even see the specks in theirs when you got planks in both of yours? Have you looked in a mirror? No, most of us don't. Or if we do, we get a quick glimpse. It's like, whoa, what's that? No, I don't like that. Let's just keep reflecting. Let's just keep deflecting. Let's just keep the attention elsewhere, externally, not internally. Because it's obviously a them problem. I'm triggered because of them. It's all their fault. You know, we're not you know, we can't control other people, but we have full control over how we react. You know, but it's interesting too. It's, you know, the way people react when the, you know, accountability comes knocking on the door. You know, it's like, what? Accountability? No, they moved. You get the wrong address. The person you're looking for, they're not here anymore. They moved. And it's like, well, you look just like the person on this picture here. And it's like, you know, the things people do in the dark that people get real comfortable in. You know, it's funny too. It's, you know, really quick to divert attention. You know, as soon as the spotlight comes onto them and any shadows, right? It's like, oh, have you seen this? Have you seen that? What about this person and that person, that person? It was like, well, great, but it doesn't change anything. You're still running from yourself. It doesn't change anything, but thanks for the information. You know, but it's funny too. It's, you know, but how much of stuff do we already know? But it's things that we already know, but we choose not to observe it the proper way. Because we don't like the way it looks from that lens. Because that means we have to put some work in. Because that means it's a us problem, not a them problem. And it's a lot easier to shift the blame than to take accountability. Even when you know. Even when deep down we know. Even when deep down we know. It's a lot easier just to shift the blame. But the choices that we make. The decisions that we make. Our choices, you know, are we making choices to get us out of loops? To get us out of cycles? Or are the choices and actions and decisions and thought patterns that we're making, are they keeping us stuck?
The world is quiet at night, and my mind is not. Whiskey's cheap, the tank is near about dry. Got a long man's memory burning in my rearview eye. This old truck's got 100,000 stories told, in the rust on the fender and the cracks from the cold, but the engine still turns with a low and faithful sound. The only thing in the world that I've never let down, except for you. And you're the smoke in my lungs, the fire in my soul, the one fixed dead and alive that's lost control through the dust and the darkness, the getaways in the close call, baby, you're the that time and takes so
You know, yeah, it's the surrender. It's the energy of surrendering. You know, CSR, customer service representative. Well, it's like standing up for ourselves. It's representing ourselves. It's advocating for ourselves, but it's it's the understanding of what's in our hands. It's the understanding of everything. It's the understanding of all of our choices and all of our actions. You know, it's the realization of the consequences of them. Well, it's not so much the consequences; it's the results. You know, but it's the way to perceive it. It's the game changer. It's the way that we perceive it. You know, it's the shift of the mindset from it's not what's happening to me, it's what's happening for me. It's, you know, I realize it's the realization I'm triggered, but it's what about this is triggering. It's what about, what is it in this situation that I'm supposed to learn from it. It's the realization that everything is an opportunity to learn, you know, when you're able to perceive it that way. You know, when you look at it as what's done for me, not to me, it's everything is made to teach me something. Everything is designed so that I learn, so that I grow, so that I expand, you know. But I'm not able to do it if I'm, you know, still stuck with the old mindsets. But it's the gift to be able to shift out of, you know, we catch ourselves in those negative thoughts, right? We catch ourselves in those negative thoughts, but we're supposed to take command of the thoughts that aren't ours. We take command of the thoughts that aren't ours and we cast them out, right? And it takes 8 seconds, right? 8 or 15 seconds, one of the two, to cast, you know, you think of something positive. You force yourself to think of something positive for like 8 seconds. And in that process, it kicks it out. You know, but you have to force it. It takes conscious thought. You have to consciously think about it. But first, you have to catch yourself. You have to be able to catch yourself in the act. You know, when you're talking negative about yourself, when just whatever, when you're thinking negative about yourself, whatever it is. But it all starts with your mind. Because if you don't change the way you think about yourself, then you're not going to change the way you speak about yourself. You know, protecting the way that you speak about yourself. It's guarding yourself from, you know, it's talking negative upon yourself, self-limiting beliefs. But I'm getting the energy again. But it's waving the white flag of it's surrendering. It's surrendering. It's natural for us to want to cast blame. It's natural. We naturally just want to cast blame at someone, somewhere, anywhere, anyone else but ourselves. It's natural. But, you know, it's not, we're not defined by the feelings that we have, and the thoughts that we have. We're defined by what we take action upon. You know, the thoughts that we take action upon. You know, we're not defined by our past. You know, thankfully, we're not defined by our past. Accountable to our past, yes, but not defined by it. You know, we're defined by the choices and decisions that we make right here and right now. And that's why it's, you know, it's constantly checking yourself. It's constantly keeping yourself in check. It's constantly, you know, checking the way that you think about yourself. Constantly checking the way that you think about others. Constantly it's nonstop.
You fed the crowd, but starved the least. Drank the wine and mocked the feast. Tuned your voice to heaven's song, but every note came out all wrong. You called him Lord, but served your pride. Lit your land, but I never knew you, that's what he said. Though you dressed in white and broke the bread, your hands were clean, but your heart was dust, a hollow shell without true trust. Depart from me, you mask the truth. There's no mercy for a poison root. Wolves in wool, they walk the stage. Their Bibles warm, their hearts in chains. The fire sees what men disguise, and grace won't answer empty lies. I never knew you, I shut the door. You knocked too late, I spoke no more. You danced with praise, but served your lust. Now you're left with dry bones and dust. Laying in the dark can't silence my head. Thoughts like thunder can't escape the dread. Feeling like a ghost inside my skin. Losing battles I can't seem to win. They say it gets better, just hang on. But every damn day feels 10 years long. I'm running from a past that won't let go, and the future's just a shadow I don't know. This addiction's got a chain around my soul, takes the wheel and I lose.
You know, running from the past that I do not know. Addiction's taking control. You know, but addictions are, you know, a lot of mindsets, a lot of mental. The way that we imprison ourselves, you know, but it's state paid vacation, stolen money, but it's stolen energy. It's the ways that we prison ourselves. It's the ways that we trap ourselves. You know, but it's what but it's when we're feeding the wants of the flesh. You know, the 3D. It's feeding the wants of the flesh. It's indulging. Addictions, but people hear addictions, they automatically go to drugs. But it's an addiction is addiction. Something that you can't go without. Well, guess what? You can, probably. You're not gonna just roll over and die. You know what I mean? You choose not to. You don't want to. Be honest with yourself. You just don't want to. Who are you lying to? Yourself again? Probably. We all do it. We're all guilty of it. But do we catch ourselves? Do we catch ourselves? And do we stop it? That's the question. That's what defines you. It's natural to have the thoughts and go, you know, but it's what we act upon. You know, then eventually after enough time, you don't get those thoughts anymore. They just go away. But it's a battle. It's a mental battle. You got to fight all the time. Sometimes it's like you don't get a chance to put your sword down. It's every thought you want to act upon, but you know you shouldn't. It's not helpful. It doesn't serve your greatest good. It would sure be fun, though, wouldn't it? It would be easier, though, wouldn't it? Well, of course. That's the temptation. Are you going to give in? Or are you going to persevere?
Yeah, I bleed, but I ain't giving up on me. Sometimes the high feels like a friend till it leaves me empty once again. But I still rise, still try to heal, still pray someday this pain won't feel so real. So I keep going one breath at a time, searching for peace in a wrecked up mind. Hope's a whisper, but it's still mine. Addiction don't get the final line.
You know, addiction doesn't get the final line. You know, it's at any point, at any time, we can stand the fuck up fully in our authority, and we can shut down whatever. Shut down whatever. You know, some people just quit the addiction like they never even had it. It's because they believed it so much, they shifted themselves into a different timeline that they didn't even have that addiction. They never did. But those that were healed by Yeshua, it's your belief, it's your thought, it's your mind. You have to believe it, embody it so much that it happens. Now, I'm still getting to the point where I can do it just like that. I'm still getting there. I can manifest pretty quick, but I'm not there yet. Right? But it's our beliefs. It's what we hold on to. That energy. The space that we hold. What space do we hold and for what energy? A lot of times we're holding all this space in our vessel for all this negativity. And we wonder why it's negative here, and negative there, and negative there. Well, are we observing it that way? You know, it will be, and it still will be, but we can observe it as, wow, look at all these opportunities to learn. All these opportunities to grow. Oh, man, I'm so fucking blessed. A little bit of sarcasm could do you some good. Until you believe it. Until you know it. You know, but it really is. You know, there's something that we can learn from everything. And guess what? They're not fun lessons. Well, of course not. Well, that wouldn't be much fun either, then, would it? If they were all fun. You know, it would lose its joy. It would lose its excitement. It would just be mundane. I don't know. I know that to be right, but it still feels wrong to say. But it's kind of like, no, but it is right. You know, but the hitman. You know, but hitman, looking over his shoulders, it's our past always wants to come back. Our past is, you know, but how does it try to come back? Through the same people, through different faces, the same scenarios. You know, but they're tests. And what are the tests? It's an opportunity to prove what you've learned, to prove the tools that you have, and that you know how to use them. They're opportunities. I'm not always, you know, we're not always excited to go to work, right? Well, I'm not always excited with an opportunity to use my tools. But hey, at least I have the tools to use, and I know how to use them. So you got that going for you, right?
I say the tears ran out when my soul died. Now I walk with silence, steel and flame, and every scar still speaks your name. Scars don't speak, but they remember. Every fire, every splinter. Ain't no words to make it right. Just a loaded gun and a sleepless night. No calls, no begging for a lifeline. If I'm in the picture, it's 'cause I drew the outline. I never hit your phone when the floor dropped out. I just bit down, had to find a different route. You were there for everybody in your little show, but somehow never did when it really got low. I don't do pity, I don't do save me. I'd rather take hits than let somebody claim me. You keep receipts for the help that you throw. I keep my distance and my credit as zero. No secret contracts hiding in a smile. No quiet leverage waiting on speed dial. If I take a loss, that's mine to know. If I take a win, that's mine too. I don't know your thanks, I don't know your cause. I don't owe explanations for why I stand tall. I don't owe your hand for for the places I go. Every step I took solo. No debt on my name, no chain on my throat, no favor hanging on my last quote. I move how I want, and the real ones know. Freedom is different when I don't know.
You know,
Freedom is different when I don't know.
freedom hits different when I don't know. You don't want to be reminded of. So it's like, you know what they say in the motorcycle community? It's, you never get lost. You just find new roads that you never knew existed. You never. That's the beauty of riding. We never get lost. But that's why you're either a cruiser or you're a crotch rocket. You get the crotch rocket because you want to go fast and pick up some women or this and that, right? You get the cruiser because you want the nice, comfortable ride. But it's it's cruising the back roads. It's just relaxing. It's going with the road, and it's just it makes me feel alive. And to me, I don't ride I ride without a helmet, even though I've been in a couple accidents. But it's I lose the experience when I do that. I want to feel the rush of wind on my face. That's what I want. But it's preference, right? That's why I don't like fairings, because it would be nice not to get hit all the bugs and shit. I've been hit right in the throat with a June bug, and that will fucking knock the air out of you. But it's not fun, but it's the choices that I make. I know I'm gonna hit some bugs, but I just don't like the look of it. So I do what I like, and I'm willing to take the consequences because I weighed the risks, and it's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm fine with it. So be it. Does it mean I'm always happy when it happens, when I get hit with the bugs? No. You catch one in the mouth, the eye, who knows where. But it's not fun. But it's the calculated risk that we take, right? But you know what the best calculated risk you could ever take? Going all in on yourself. Loving the fuck out of yourself. Going all in on yourself. That's the best gamble you could ever take. You might just fuck around and end up in your highest timeline.
Talk big about who you put on, but I was in the dark long after you were gone. You only come around when the lights look right. I learned how to breathe in the tight wrong nights. Every flavor's got strings, I've seen how they pull. Starts off as nothing, ends up full control. So I cut that early, no blood in my chest. If I can't reach it solo, then it's not my step. I don't sit at tables where the bill's not clear. I won't act grateful just to keep you near. If my independence is your ego low, that's your problem, not mine. I don't know your thanks, I don't know your cause, I don't know explanations for why I stand tall. I don't know your hand for the places I go. Every step I took solo. No debt on my name, no chain on my throat, no favor hanging on my last goal. I move how I want, and the real ones know. Freedom is different when I don't know. No, remember when I helped you talk? No quiet tax on the way I walk. If I'm in the room, I cover that road. In time, in grinding full payload. You keep the stories you tell yourself. I keep my wins off everybody's shelf. If I stand alone, that's how I chose to grow. Free in a way you're not, I don't know. No strings on my life, no rent on my soul. No name in my story that secretly controls. You can love it or hate it, but one thing you know, better, 'cause I don't
I ain't no one shadow, I'm my own light. Running wild in these boots, feeling just right. They say I should settle, but I don't play that game. I'm a country girl with a rebel spirit, can't be tamed.
Rebel spirit.
Running through
hard. Got my eyes on the prize, never drop my guard. They might call me crazy, but I don't care. I'm a rebel spirit, there and everywhere.
Ain't no stopping me now.
Yeah.
I'm on my own proud road somehow.
No stopping me. It's no stopping me from investigating myself. Investigating the ways that I speak upon myself. It's questioning. It's paying attention to even the simplest ways that you speak upon yourself. It's being conscious of it, because it's the little, it's the little adjustments here that add up to huge adjustments. It's all the little things. It's all the little things that we just do out of habit that we don't even realize. That we don't even realize how detrimental it really is to us. But we are our own worst enemy. The words that we speak upon ourselves, the thoughts that we have of ourselves, and then the ones that we act upon too. The ones we act upon. But lack of funding, it's pulling the funds from the speaking evil fund. You know what I mean? It's that account is bankrupt. It's overdrafted now. There's nothing in that account. We no longer speak ill upon ourselves. But it's the transfer of energy. It's not simply just the removal of the negative talk. It's the replacement with the positive. But it's the FBI. It's an investigation into where our energy is going. It starts with awareness. You got to be aware of where your energy is being pulled to. But that's why when you call your energy back too, you're always calling it, from everyone, every place, thing, everything known and unknown. With everything that you give thanks for already happening, you speak upon it for the known and the unknown. Because, I can guarantee you, take what you're thinking of, and there's probably a lot more than that. But that's why we just give it that good old blanket. You know what I mean? We throw the blanket, statement out there, and let's just cover it all. But the downside to that is, you don't know what's there. You don't know what's going to be uncovered. But I can tell you, at the end of the road, though, it's healing. If you follow the road and stay on the road, it's healing, and it's beneficial. But I can't tell you what you're going to find on the road. It always looks different. And it's normally not so appealing. It's disguised. A lot of times it's disguised as, what? It's disguised as a negative. But how are we labeling things? Are we doing our investigation when we're putting labels on things? Are we making sure that we properly label things? Are we waiting to assess the situation before we slap a label on it? And then, even then, are we going back and reevaluating it and making sure that label still deserves to be there?
Running through my veins,
Breaking chains,
dancing in the rain. Ain't no way I quit.
I'm a country outlaw with a rebel spirit.
Rebel spirit,
Yeah, that's me,
living wild.
living free. Gritty boots hit the floor, moonshine dripping slow, dirty south howling, I'm the boss, let's go down home, where the heat don't quit. I find my fun with a rowdy, wild-eyed chick. She got smoke on her lips, whiskey on her breath, laugh that could steal my soul. Wild as the rest, tight faded jeans, boots hit the dash. She rides shotgun, bad girl, pure white trash. Ain't here for church, she's here for the sin. Dark bar queen, where the trouble begins. She got her raunch in her heart, spark in her eyes. Give a wink, light a smoke, let's scandalize. I love her. Motel curtains closed, stories to tell. Paint peeling walls, honey, raise some hell. She grabbed my hat, pulled it low on my head. Whispers in my ear, let's dance in this bed. Cowgirl ride or a doggy show. Outlaw lust where the dark things go. She don't mind a little mud, don't care about the law. I'm a southern daddy, now break me off. Boots on, heat's on, do the deed in the truck. She laughs, wicked, don't believe in good luck. We dirty up the night till the sunrise, scream wrong. She trashy lovers, best you've ever seen. I love them nasty women, wild and free. Boots stomping, bed thumping, riding with me. Liquor drinking, cigarette fiends, tight booty queens of my dirty dreams, yeah. Yeah. Ducking the dirty deeds, we all get what we need. So pour up the booze, spark up that smoke. Tight jeans, tough boots, love, rough, love, whoa. Outlaw life, dirty love and speed. We riding and grinding and giving them what they need.
You know, it's winding and grinding and giving them what they need. You know, but what is it that they need? You know, they need to upgrade in their mindset. That's what they need. They need to get rid of a lot of that false programming in their mind. It's a viruses. It's giving these people they have so many fucking viruses. It's the mindsets. It's the corrupt mindsets. It's a whole lot of stuck in their old ways, stuck in the 3D, stuck in their previous mindset, stuck, frozen. You know, and then Tater Thought Crew, it's energy of just being stuck and having a fun time. It's having a fun time. You know, but at what cost? Our growth. At what cost? You know, always have what you need. You know, but it's the always have what you need. It's always having the ability to shift your mindset. You have to be open minded, and then when you're open minded, you know, and you're constantly reflecting, you're constantly checking yourself. But that's how you know you're always on point, because you have to question yourself. You have to constantly. Your truth, you know, your truth is a constant evolving thing. You know, it's interesting too but wasn't that in like the reading today? I was talking about like the spirituality and the journey and how it's, you know, it can't be boxed in and confined. You know, all religions it stems off of one person's personal experience with spirituality. That's what every religion has started off of. And you know, but every religion is based upon spirituality, and spirituality is the journey that we all go on. But it's a journey inward. You know, but to constantly change your mindset, to constantly be shifting. But it's constantly, you know, you have to be in a constant state of teacher and student. You know, you have to know, you know, but it's expressing the lessons that you've already learned. You know, that's the teacher. It's when you observe it happening, you know, you can't force the knowledge on them. You can't beat the knowledge and information into them. All you can do is throw it out there, you know, and they either receive it or they don't. But we don't lose sleep over it, because you know we out here wanting to play Captain Save-A-Ho, but you know some of these hoes just want to drown. You know, but then it's the woe is me card. But it's a victim of your own mentality. You know, it's hard. It's like we can't keep playing the I didn't know better card. You did. You didn't choose to listen better though. It's for whatever reason it was. You know, we feel it, we know it, but we ignore it. You can't say you didn't, you know, we know. But it's the lies that we tell ourselves. But it's justifying. You know, but what are we justifying? It's the ways that we're stuck, the ways that we aren't growing. Oh, it's the excuses that we make. Oh, I didn't have this. Oh, this person did that. Oh, blah, 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 blah. It's excuses, yeah. I have them all the time, too. I don't always give in to them, but I still have them. It's not the thoughts that you have. It's what you take action upon. But taking action upon the thoughts we have. You know, but that's what it is too. You know, when you start investigating, you don't know where it's going to lead. You never know where it's going to lead. Well, you have an idea, and sometimes it goes down deeper there, but normally it stems off and leads to other places, and we're meant to explore it. You know, it's what you feel pulled to. It's what you hear, that it's a word that you didn't know, that it's let me go explore this. It's something that you heard that resonated with you. Whatever it is, however it appears to you, they're things that you're meant to explore. It's because there's something there. You know, but how far are you willing to open your mind? How far are you willing to travel down there? How far are you willing to travel inward? You know, but we only get as much as we can handle. But but sometimes it just seems like we didn't even dip our toes in. We just jumped all the way the fuck in. And it's like, holy shit. But it's the understanding of we always have exactly what we need. You know, not to finish the race, but to get us to the next step.
Turn heartache into ammo and cash a check. Love tried to tame me, but I bit the chain. Now I kiss goodbyes like I kiss the rain. I've seen good men cry and cowards preach, but I learned my truth no man could teach. So I tip my brim to the life I chose. If you're scared of the dark, don't follow my road. This ain't no lullaby, it's a war drum beat, marching on steel toes down a blacktop street.
You know, if you're scared of the dark, don't follow me. You know, but it's if you found your way here, you probably have some thick skin. You have to, because I'm an acquired taste. You know, but guess what? My methods work. You know, I found the ways that I was imprisoned. You know, I found mindsets. I found programming. I was able to find things that no longer serve me. And I know I know that the majority of us all have the same false programming. And if I was able to get out of it, I know you can too. You know, but it's the funny part is you think that just because you're able to walk around and drive your car and go to the store and do things, you think that you're free. It's an illusion. Just because you don't physically see the chains doesn't mean you're actually free. And if you think you are, you're more enslaved than yeah.
Call me outlaw, call me stray, but I don't fold and I don't pray. I burn like bourbon, walk like war. I'm what heartbreak and comebacks are for, built from scars, forged alone. This badass outlaws, never going home. I've done my dirt and paid in scars. Never prayed much, just talked to stars. Roll with demons in the rearview haze and kiss goodbye to many graves. Ain't no pew where I belong, just shotgun shells and barroom songs. If there's a gate, it's locked and barred, and I'll just ride till it gets dark. Ain't no heaven outlaws like me. I ain't bitter, I ain't crying, but I won't fake it when I'm dying. They can keep their hallelujah choirs. I'll take the dirt, the booze, the fire. Carve my name in no bar steel, made peace with pain. I still feel when the angels pass. Don't call my name, just pour a shot and stoke the flame. Ain't no heaven for outlaws like me. No white robes, no pearly keys, just a cold wind blowing through pine tree ghosts and a highway heading where the wicked folks go. I ain't asking to be set free, just riding till the reaper runs out of me. Ain't no heaven for outlaws like me. Maybe I'll haunt the back road slow, or light cigars in the devil's glow. But I won't beg and I won't break.
You know, heaven ain't no heaven for me. But you know what I was just getting to though was that Biggie song where it's like, no sense going to heaven with the goody goodies dressed in white. I like black Tims and black hoodies. But it's learning to it's learning to embrace our shadow. You know, it's learning not to hide from it. It's the aspects of ourself that, well, you know, but our shadow, you know, it's too much of anything is not good. You know, too much of a nice person is not good. Because if you're too much of a nice person, then people are going to walk all the fuck over you. But it's a balance. Everything is a balance, and it's finding it's the finding the balance part. That's the fun part. I was gonna say the hard part, but it's not proper. It's the fun part. You know what I mean? But it's but a balance. But it's balancing everything out. But it's also it's the balancing out, the integrating. It's observing everything, you know, with every shift of consciousness. It's a new opportunity to go back and reevaluate everything. You know, when you do the big major shifts, it's like, whoa, well, now, you know, now that you're seeing everything more clearly, it's now some things are going to make more sense. Now you're able to look at it from different angles, different perspectives. Now you have different narratives about the situation. You know, different narratives. You know, it's the way that we betray ourselves. It's casting the blame. It's when we're always casting the blame outward. You know, casting the blame outward. You know, the vacation, we think we're getting away from it. We think that we're running away from it. It's like, whew, almost caught me some accountability. That was a close one. Good thing I got away. It's like, did you though? You just prolonged it. All you did is prolong it. It's inevitable. It's going to happen eventually. How long are you going to run? You know, and the shit carries over into lifetimes too. You know, trauma, you know, ancestral trauma, your trauma, you know. There's a lot to process, and you think that you can just evade it this lifetime. Well, you can. Well, you're not just evading it, though. You're adding on, and it's just an add-on. So guess what? Congratulations. Next lifetime, you got yourself the same repeat lessons. Attaboy, you're doing a great job. You know, now that's what it's like, though. That's what it's like, though, unfortunately. We either learn it this lifetime or we don't. We repeat it. It's not your only opportunity. It's your only opportunity in this vessel. You're going to get another vessel, another opportunity, another chance. But what are you going to do with it? I don't know. It's the age of Aquarius. Maybe next time, you know, we're going to grow up in families that are, you know, that actually talk about the spirit realm, that actually talk about it. Because it's real. And we're not going to deny its existence. You know, we're going to live in it. Maybe when we grow up next time, it'll be a society that actually, you know, is connected with themselves, connected with the Most High. Maybe it'll be a society that speaks life into each other. Maybe it'll be easier for us. Maybe it'll be more available to us to help us expand our consciousness. Who knows? You know, but it's the work that we do today. It's always for the, you know, but it's, you know, but it's the work that we do now. The shadow work that we do now. Time is, you know, we look at time as if it's, you know, it appears here different. It only appears here. It's the we underestimate the impact of the things that we do. We underestimate a lot, the impact of a lot.
Firewalk pose, remember the name. Firewalk pose when their bravado folds. I stride through doubt like it's dust I mold. Every fear they hold, I turn into sparks. I burn my path even through their mark. Step in my wake if you want the joke, but no one outruns my firewalk pose. Flames drop, post day.
I'm aligned with my truth. Every blessing that I want is already on the move. Yeah. I'm connected, I'm grounded, I know who I am. All the power that I need is right here in my hand. Yeah. I am peace, I am light. Everything flows in divine timing, right? I'm open, I receive what I speak, I believe. I am abundance, I am love, I am everything I need. I'm magnetic.
You know, I am abundance, I am love, I am everything that I need. You know, but it's the realization. It's the realization that you are everything that you need. That you have everything that you need. The realization that you have everything that you need for this shift. You know, when people hear talk about, you know, the new Earth, and they're like, oh, what are we hopping on a space shift? It's an energetic thing. It's a shift thing energetically. Just like with every thought could shift you in a different timeline and stuff, right? Well, there's all different dimensions and there's all different timelines, right? But with the thoughts, you know, but it's the shift of consciousness, right? But it's the shift. And so we either shift to the 5D, and that goes to a higher timeline, a higher Earth, where it's more peaceful and it's not all the chaos and disruption. Or your soul refuses to change. Your soul refuses to grow. Your soul refuses to adapt, to get rid of the false programming. That's what it is. It's getting rid of the false programming. You know, but that takes a willingness to. And a lot of people are just stuck in their fucking ways. A lot of people there's too much, you know, virus in there. You know, it's all the anger and hate that they have. That's not even really theirs. You know, it's their energy that's being siphoned out of them, but it's... So some people, it's just, there's no talking sense into them. You know, there's no talking sense to them. But that's the hard part, because, you know, they're only screwing themselves. You know, we screw ourselves. When we refuse to change our mindsets, when we refuse to change our mindset, you know, we're just keeping ourselves stuck. You know, but it's still an inheritance, you know, but it's... You know, but what I'm getting is positions available to us, right? Positions available to us, but it's... You know, we either do the work and become worthy of it. You know, many are called and few are chosen, you know, but we have to do the work and to be at a state of worthiness. And what is it? You know, but it's all raising our frequency. It's everything. It's everything, because that's what it really is. It's raising your frequency. You know, your vessel has to be able to contain the energy, right? You have to do the work on your vessel and get, you know, it's literally upgrades. You know, you upgrade your vessel. You know, it's, you know, but how do you do that? You know, you got to get rid of all the parasites. You got to get rid of all the cravings and addictions. And, you know, you got to do what the Bible talks about, you know, the fasting. And you got to clean up your whole life. You know, it's changing the way you think. It's changing it's controlling everything that goes in your mind. It's controlling everything that goes in your mouth. It's controlling everything. It's taking full authority and full control over your life. And you gotta run it like a prison system. You gotta check everyone and everything that enters. You know, but what I'm getting to is, you know, the sniper tower. You know, you got to be ready to shoot. When you notice something, you got to be ready to jump and act on it. Now you're going to have the courage to. You know, but but we never know what we're going to find. You know, but it's never what we give up, right? It's what we get in return. You know, it's what we get in return. A lot of times we observe it as what we're giving up in the 3D. It's these physical things that were taken away from me, that I lost, whatever. It's that's what we fixate on. It's instead of what we gained, the knowledge, the experience, the whatever it is. Because there's always something that we gained. If we still thought that it was just a complete loss, then, well, that's how you're perceiving it. And that's exactly where the problem lies. Because you're looking at it as a loss.
Dust break down and never betray. I smell the Fed coming from a mile away. You want chaos? I'll bring the floods and fire. Make these streets my kingdom, stack empires high. No badge can't control me, no chain gon' bind. I bury small town talk on that outlaw grind. From the club lights of ATL to the West Memphis moon, I'm the outlaw that howls, don't sing no tune. Keep your handshake deals and your TV smile.
Cowboy, Southside hero, black gold heart, pulse of rebellion. I'm the devil's trademark. Riding fast, riding fierce like thunder. I pray I smell trouble brewing from a mile away.
Cowboy, throw dust, catch the glow. Steel tipped hard, but my patience runs low. In the land of forgotten, I'm the one who stay unchained, unbroken, outlawed every day. Yeah, keep it dirty, baby. No sugar, no sweet. Deep in the swamp is where the legends meet. I'm rolling heavy with the fire, no rules to obey. This cowboy takes the crown, ain't no room to play.
You know what that is? You know what that is? It's back to the taking control, taking authority of your life. You know, putting in the work. You know, but the masculine is more of the, you know, it's the warrior. There it is. It's cosmic warrior, right? Yeah, cosmic warrior. It's, you know, but what it is too, it's giving, you know, it's breaking generational curses. You know, cosmic warrior. You know, that's giving more than just yours. You know, because we have our own chains and bonds, right? That hold us back. But then we also have ones that are on our bloodlines. But what's interesting about that too is people hear bloodlines and they think just in these families that these vessels are born into, and not cosmic. There's more family than blood, and I think most of us know already that blood doesn't necessarily make you family. It makes you related, but not necessarily family.
Tried the law, but it cut me down like a gavel of thunder. No grace to be found, but in the fire of guilt, he reached out his hand, lifted my soul. Oh, wretched man. Oh, wretched man, who will set me free? This body of death keeps strangling me, but there's mercy in the blood, stronger than my sin. Jesus Christ, my Savior. victories in Him.
You know, but it's not waiting for a savior. It's not waiting for a savior. It's Christ. It's finding the Christ in you. It's the spark of the divine that resides in each and every one of us. It's rising to the Christ consciousness. You know, hidden agenda, but it's everything is made to teach us. You know, everything that we're going through is an opportunity for us to learn, for an opportunity for us to grow. Are we seizing the opportunity, or are we letting it slip away? Are we casting hate and anger and sadness? And how are we taking it in? How are we reacting? You know, but it's, I didn't sign up for this. Well, yeah, you kind of did. You kind of did. It's either the choices and decisions that we made in our soul contracts when we came here, or a direct result of the choices and actions that we've made since we got here. But one way or another, yeah, it's our choices. We brought it upon ourselves. We set it all up. You know, there's the setup though. Yeah, but it's an opportunity. But you hear set up, right? Set up. Well, what if it's setting you up for an alley-oop? What if it's setting you up for an alley-oop? That would mean everything's falling right into place for you, right? Everything's just falling right into place for you. You just gotta be at the right place at the right time. You gotta jump in the air, and then the ball's gonna be right there. Boom, easy 2 points, right? Could win the game. I don't know, maybe.
You can feel it in the room when I step that way. I ain't looking for trouble, but I don't back away. You can keep on the warnings, keep the crowd on your side. When it comes down to it, I'm the last one you try. If you wanna tell lies, if you wanna cross steel, if you wanna find out what's fake and
If you want to find out what's fake and what's real. If you want to test the steel. You know, iron sharpens iron. And some people out here, you know, want to have sword fights, but they forget that they're using glass or clay swords. And what does that compare to iron? It shatters. You know, it's illusions. The way that it's illusions. It's people's fragile illusions that are shattered. With what? With bam! It's the truth, motherfuckers! And the truth is, you know, but it's dropping the ball. It's forgetting that God hears everything. It's thinking that we can do things in the dark and get away with it. Oh, we avoided it for a while. We got our rewards. We didn't see the consequences, or they weren't that bad, and we outweighed it. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, it was worth it. I'll do the fuckery some more. And so we do it more. What if we're just digging ourselves a bigger grave? But our big-ass ego's getting in the way, and man, that was good. Look at all this free money, or free this, or free... Yeah, let's get over on some more people. Let's dig ourselves deeper, and deeper, and deeper, and deeper. No one's gonna know. How are they gonna know? No one saw it. Nobody's gonna know. Knock, knock, knocking on accountability's door. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, that's for somebody.
I'm your huckleberry.
I'm actually going to end that right there. I'm going to stop that right there. But thanks for tapping in. Thanks for all your likes, your shares, your comments. Thank you for the exchange of energy. And until next time.